So the book of Revelation is false for several reasons. The first reason is that nothing came true of the things that are written there. It's been 2000 years and nothing that was written there came true. So that already tells you this book is false, because when you have books that are of a true prophet, especially that it's 20 something chapters long and all of it basically is a prophecy, then you do have things that came true. Like you compare, for example, to Daniel, you compare to Yeshua, to Ezekiel, to Isaiah, you compare to any true prophet that spoke for so long. He doesn't only have prophecies. The only thing you can say for them is that they didn't come yet. They would come in the future. That's believing based on nothing. They always have prophecies that came true. That's the first thing. The second thing is that it has failed prophecies. That is, prophecies that are written, you can get from how it's written that it should have come true already and didn't. So I give you an example of one of those. For example, Rome, the city of Rome, is famously known as the city built on 7 hills. There are 7 specific hills with names that the city was established on. And then in the book of Revelation, in chapter 17 and 18, there is this evil woman that is called Babylon, that is sitting on 7 hills. And Babylon was the capital of the Babylonian Empire and maybe the most important city at the time in the world. And some of the prophets, like Daniel, the prophecy trying to sound like that I suppose he copied from, spoke from there. And so the writer is in the Roman Empire. We know the writer was in the Roman Empire. Then he's writing something that has to be talking about Rome. He's saying, like in that chapter, in the next chapter, he's saying that this place is evil, and he's telling people, come out of there, come out of her. And at least in Hebrew, a city is female, so it's like anyway, then he's saying to people, like, come out of something that has to be Rome, and it says it says that the city or she, I don't remember if it says city or she, but anyway, it says that rules over all the world. So who might he be talking to? He's in the Roman Empire saying something that is sitting on 7 hills and rules on over all the world and things like this, and he called it Babylon, which was, what I said. So it was the equivalent of the time of Babylon. In the time of Babylon, he's saying that it's gonna get destroyed and everybody needs to come out of her. Like Babylon was prophesied earlier, that Babylon would be wiped out and never rise again. There was other places that are prophesied like this. All of them don't exist anymore. You can look it up. There is a list of places that in actual prophets prophesies God would wipe out, and all of them you won't find them on the map anymore, like Babylon, Nineveh, some other places. Anyway, you can look it up. When God actually says about some place, and he did in several cases, that it will be wiped up and never be anymore, it happens. In the case of Rome, Rome is still the capital of Italy. It's still one of the main cities in the world. It's still a huge, rich, important city that had relative to most of the world, it had a relatively safe 2000 years since then. It never was wiped out. The worst that happened to it, there was some point it was conquered, but that happens in 2000 years to like every place almost, and at least in yeah, basically to any place now that I think about it. So it's like, it didn't get destroyed, it didn't get wiped out. It's still the opposite of that. It's still like, you know, clearly opposite. So that's totally failed prophecy. I won't go into other examples because I think it's unnecessary. Like, the book sounds like nonsense. It starts like nonsense, like a broken telephone. It says it's the vision that God told Jesus, that told an angel, that told the this guy that is not clear who it is, that is writing this. What are they're playing broken telephone? Like, why would they go around like this? Like, why wouldn't God just tell him? Like, why would God tell Jesus that would tell an angel that would tell him? Like, it starts already not making sense from the beginning. Then the whole book doesn't. It's full of contradictions of previous teachings and prophecies. All the prophecies failed to come true, including ones that were supposed to come true already. And the whole and well, I can continue for an hour, but honestly, this book is just nonsense. I generally don't make videos like this because the world is full of billions of people saying all kind of wrong things, and it's like an endless struggle to disprove everything wrong that everybody says. So I generally just make videos about what is correct, not what is incorrect. But in this specific case, I'm making this video because this got into the Bible, which is where you're generally supposed to find what is correct. So this is like a Trojan horse, kind of. So I am pointing this Trojan horse to you. It should be also mentioned that there's other wrong things in the Bible, but this is probably the most wrongs, because let's say the writings of Paul, there is some wrongs in them, but there is also a lot of correct. And his general message, let's say, is kind of in very generally, usually correct kind of. I wouldn't quote it or count on him as a source of understanding much, but he apparently mostly had good intention, generally was useful. He definitely did a lot of work and suffered a lot and did help. So I'm not against him, but he's also like, just he's a man that says all kind of stuff, and some of it was right and wrong. And anyway, but this is not the same thing. This is literally false prophets just talking nonsense for 20 something chapters. Just by the way, this is like a topic for some other reasons, but there is like other videos or not, but it's anyway, like there is like tons of others, false prophets and false prophecies and whatever. Yeah, so